I'm here because I've decided that I want to embark on a series related to the Bible. It's like a lot of times it's so much easier for for me, and I'm sure for many others, to pick up a New York Times bestseller, read through it from front to back, and when it comes to the Bible, we neglect that. I mean, we read at church, of course, and a lot of times when we're going through something, we just, you know, pick up the Bible for some encouragement. But I think that I want to do this. I want to read the Bible not just when it's convenient for me, but at all times or whenever I have the opportunity. Well, I will make the opportunity. Let's say that. And I think that recording myself as I'm reading the Bible and giving you my opinion on it will better help me, better help you, better help everyone. And I'll be reaching souls for Christ in a way. For those that don't know God about God, or don't know as much as they think they do. I don't know. I just want to do this, and I hope that you guys help me on this journey and encourage me and give me your thoughts and input and all that wonderful stuff. Okay. Um, this story, the story of Job, or Job, as we say in Creole. I'm not sure how you guys pronounce it in English, but I think it's Job, right? Or Job. It's not Job. Okay, no. All right. But it's a story about when bad things happen to good people. And I'm not gonna give it all away because it's a very interesting story, but I will start reading with chapter 1. All right, here we go. Chapter 1. All right, if you want to follow along with me, and we're gonna do it like that. All right. In the land of Uz, it's spelled U-Z. Like, this is, we're not gonna be perfect with it. I'm not gonna be perfect with it. Like, I'm gonna stop when I need to stop, and if I pronounce something differently or not the way that you are used to it being pronounced, bear with me, because I speak two different languages. I'm bilingual, so sometimes I'll pick up the Creole pronunciation, or I'll pick up the English one, or vice versa. Either way, bear with me, and just, if I'm pronouncing something wrong, just let me know. All right, just, it's cool. We family. All right. In the land of Uz, or Uz, U-Z, there lived a man whose name was Job. This man was blameless and upright. He feared God and shunned evil. He had 7 sons and 3 daughters, and he owned 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 donkeys, and had a large number of servants. He was the greatest man among all the people of the East. Dude was balling. All right. he had a lot, like, for real. Like, I think in our day, he'd be the dude with like 5 different high-end cars, and I guess he'd be like, I don't want to say a Kardashian, but that's what I'm getting. Somebody like that. Anywho, his sons used to take turns holding feasts in their homes, and they would invite their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them. When a period of feasting had run its course, Job would send in and have them purified. Early in the morning, he would sacrifice a burnt offering for each of them, thinking, "Perhaps my children have sinned and cursed God in their hearts." This was Job's regular custom. All right, we're going into Job's first test. All right. One day, the angels came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came with them. The Lord said to Satan, "Where have you come from?" Satan answered the Lord, "From roaming through the earth and going back and forth in it." Then the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job? There is no one on earth like him. He is blameless and upright, a man who fears God and shuns evil." Don't we all wish you could be like Job? Like, for God to just point out this one person, which is Job, and tell Satan, "Yo, this guy right here, this my dude. Like, he does no wrong and he shuns evil." And I'm sure he had some flaws. Everybody has flaws, but right here, God just pinpointed him to the devil, and he was like, "This guy right here, yo, Yeah, have you seen my dude? Like, can't nobody mess with him. So, verse 9. Does Job fear God for nothing? Satan replied. Have you not put a hedge around him and his household and everything he has? You have blessed the work of his hands so that his flocks and herds are spread throughout the land. But stretch out your hand and strike everything he has, and he will surely curse you to your face. So basically, Satan is like, well, I will praise and worship you too, because if you gave me everything that Job had, like I said, Job is balling, like according to verse 1, 2, 3. Like they're explaining everything that Job has, and Satan's like, why wouldn't he worship and praise you? You're giving him everything that he needs. I promise you, the day that you take everything away from him, things might change. All right. Verse 12. The Lord said to Satan, very well then, everything he has is in your hands, but on the man himself do not lay a finger. Then Satan went out from the presence of the Lord. One day, when Job's sons and daughters were feasting and drinking wine at the oldest brother's house, a messenger came to Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the donkeys were grazing nearby, and the Sabaeans attacked and carried them off. They put the servants to the sword, and I am the only one who has escaped to tell you. So there starts the beginning of, okay, for those that don't understand, this is Satan working. He starts by taking Job's oxen and donkeys and carry them off, right? Okay, yeah, he had the Sabaeans come and attack the oxen and carry them off, and the messenger was the only one who survived to come and let them know that. All right, so this is just the beginning. Verse 16. While he was still speaking, another messenger came and said, the fire of God fell from the sky and burned up the sheep and the servants, and I am the only one who has escaped to tell you. Okay, while this first messenger is talking and explaining to Job that his oxen and his donkeys have been attacked and carried off, another messenger comes and says, yo, the fire of God fell from the sky and burned up the sheep and the servants, and I'm the only one that survived to tell you. Second thing. All right, verse 17. While he was still speaking, another messenger came and said, the Chaldeans formed 3 raiding parties and swept down on your camels and carried them off. They put the servants to the sword, and I'm the only one who has escaped to tell you. Okay, third thing. While he was still speaking to the first 2 servants. All right, verse 18. While he was still speaking, yet another messenger came and said, your sons and daughters were feasting and drinking wine at the oldest brother's house, when suddenly a mighty wind swept in from the desert and struck the 4 corners of the house. It collapsed on them and they are dead, and I am the only one who has escaped to tell you. Okay, so, he lost his animals. His animals died. The first 3 messengers let him know this. But now, am I correct? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. So now this 4th servant comes to him and tells him, wow, all your children, all 7 of your, let me get this right, all 7 of your sons and 3 daughters, that's in verse 2, all of them were at the oldest brother's house. They were feasting, drinking, having a good time, getting down, doing what they, what young people do, I guess. And the house fell on them and they all died. And this messenger guy was the only one to tell them. And you see, this is the devil working. This is the devil trying to get Job to turn his back on God, because all his many blessings are being taken away. All right, verse 20. At this, Job got up and tore his robe and shaved his head. Then he fell to the ground and worshipped and said, naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised. In all this, Job did not sin by charging God with wrongdoing. So, I guess God was right. Well, God is right when he said that Job was an upright man, and that right there just concluded chapter 1. Sorry, but by what Job just said, when he said, naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I was apart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised. Like, when stuff goes wrong in our lives, I know it's surely when stuff goes wrong in my life, I'm not quick to say, oh, the Lord has, for example, my car broke down last week. I wasn't quick to say, the Lord, what did he say? The Lord gave and the Lord takes away. Like, first thing I was thinking was like, oh, poor me. Oh my God, I have no mind. I was just whining and complaining. But and Job was like, all I had was my car was messed up. This guy just had all his kids were killed. He lost all his cattle, and still he was, like, the Lord has, well, what did he say? The Lord gave and the Lord takes away. Like, who? Really? Anywho, but God knew what he was talking about when he said that Job was one of those people that could be depended on, and he didn't see any wrong in everything that was going on. And I really feel that this is just the first chapter, and the next video I'll continue with chapter 2. But I really do feel that we all need to be more like Job. And when things happen and when things are going wrong, we all still need to, as hard as it is, I know, especially during this recession, a lot of people, we all are lacking funds, and it seems like things are getting even harder, and it's becoming impossible to find a job, to provide for families, and just to take care of ourselves. And we need to be more like Job and rely on God and know that we are his children and he will not lead us astray, and to just continue to hold in there like Job did. He didn't get mad, and they didn't say Job in chapter 1. They didn't say Job got mad and started going crazy. He just knew that God was working in his favor and would always be there working in his favor. So, yeah, I think I like this. I think I will continue with this. Of course, I will. As far as sharing the word, and just, if you guys have any opinions on the story of Job, or if there was something that I read that you would like to elaborate more on, feel free to. I want to learn what you've learned that I maybe haven't, and I want to share with you what I've learned. All right, let's get our perspectives out there and have fun doing this, because I want to be able to say when God comes back during the rapture, or if I'm to go today, I want to be able to say when I get to heaven that I at least took the time out to get to know God more through reading of his word. So let's do this, because I don't want for God to turn me away. I really don't. That's been another thing. Like, that's what's been pushing me also. I don't want to be that person at the pearly gates. Like, that really right there was hurting me when I was thinking about it. To be at the pearly gates, to be there, and for God to say, Ruth, what have you done for me? What have you even tried to get to know me? And this is he's given us something tangible, something we can hold and use and get to know him by. And for me to just spend years without having, like, don't get me wrong, I've read the Bible, I haven't read it in its entirety, but I've read chapters, and somebody like, oh, Ruth, you should read Job, it's good. Like, my aunt is the one that got me on a Job, and I read it, I was like, wow, because I was going through some stuff, and she was like, yo, you should read Job, because this guy, he lost everything.